Chapter 7, The Glove. I gotta tell you how crazy things got around my house. This is when Dad wasn't drinking. John, clumsily the best player on the team, somewhat ambidextrous, though not by choice. Today he's playing as a lefty. He was born a lefty and a preemie. Mom said his ears were thin as paper, opposite in every way to his big brother Jim, I heard the folks say, but later developed into the biggest of all of us boys. Dad, in his infinite wisdom, for reasons unknown to any of us, but it kind of came across like it was a curse or something to be a lefty. I can only speculate. Or I suppose it could be as simple as he couldn't show John anything about being left-handed because he couldn't play left-handed. Was it his own inabilities in question? I don't know. Who's it for? So Father ties John's left hand to his side with a short leash, forcing the boy to do everything right-handed, including eating, drinking, and writing. Dad was on a quest. He felt with muscle memory he could turn a lefty into a righty. Maybe left-handed gloves were hard to find. This went on the whole summer before John entered first grade and Jim and John started Little League. Dad diligent in his efforts, only allowing John to take the leash off to practice baseball. Dad put a mitt on John's left hand and began hitting the boy grounders, showing him how to do everything right-handed. Not in a kind way. Jim did all he could to help. When Dad was around, it wasn't that much fun. It seemed like Dad pitted the two boys against each other in most peculiar ways, though the number one rule, you stick together. You come home without your brother, I'll kill you. By the end of that summer, John got pretty good, though it all looked kind of awkward, to say the least. During this time, John became a bedwetter. I'm not even going to talk about that. Being a preemie, things didn't develop till later. Dad's plan worked. John made the team as right-hander. None of the other players or the coach suspected John of being a natural lefty. As things go, the coach blurts out, "Man, I wish I had a left-handed hitter," knowing the pitcher had trouble pitching to a lefty. John says, "I'll give her a swing," or something like that. It's the bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, bases loaded, need all 4 runs to win. John steps up to the plate, unleashed. Glenn Yagi, the other coach's son and pitcher for the Seagull Lilies, throws John his best sidearm curve. You could tell he didn't take lefty too serious, having struck him out a couple of times already. No problem. All the best players were on base. Jim's on second. Now, if you wasn't there, you just wouldn't know how everyone felt on both sides. It was electric. The switch hitter hits that ball with such force, unleashing everything he had on that ball. I think it's still going. The crowd jumps to their feet all at once, and mouths drop. Take that, Dad. The base is clear as John struts around the bases headed for home. The team, Jim and the coach cheering, waiting his arrival home. The coach found his hidden gem in the rough. It seems it wasn't a curse after all to be a lefty. Turns out the coach was a left-handed first baseman who had been looking for a lefty for years. He was so impressed with John, he gives him a brand new glove that had been in his bag for quite some time. I say waiting for John. The glove was a perfect fit, but it wasn't going to be easy. With the coach's knowledge and love of kids, along with his ability of spotting potential in kids, took to John right off. Unable to have children, the coach and his wife devoted themselves to helping kids, always wishing for a little lefty to nourish and love of their own. John got lucky, it's true. The coach determined that the boy see things his way and accept his helping hand, sensing his insecurities, thinking he played right-handed by choice. Tells the hopeful, "If you help me break in that glove through the year, the glove's yours," hoping to spark his interest. My brother hands back the glove. "No thanks, my dad won't let me keep it," and runs off. The coach shouts out, "Don't worry, I'll clear it with your father," hoping to set the troubled boy's mind at ease, having seen spare the rod spoil a child behavior before. I don't know what Freud or the coach would say if they knew what was really going on with the boy. John sure didn't want Father to see him with that glove. Dad pretty quiet about the whole thing, standing in the shadows. The coach, relentless, tracks him down. He starts out saying, "You seen that hit? Any right-hander that hits like that, left-handed, could be that 1 in a million kid." 1 in a million kid, that's my brother. I don't know what was said after that. The coach walked off with Father, having a man-to-man conversation. I thought, no way. But the coach did it. He really came through for John. Mom threw the leash in the garbage, never to be spoke of again. Wow. That act of love and kindness changed my brother's life forever, getting him past the wrath of Father God. I could sure do a lot of swearing here, gall darn it. It's a well-known fact. It's the people along the way that can really make a difference. And if that person turns out to be a friend, that's forever. Thanks, Coach and Mrs. Coach. John plays left-handed now, switch hitting at will, sometimes walking back and forth across home plate, swinging the bat real low side to side, taunting the pitchers getting hits with either or. He kicks a football barefooted with both feet, of course not at the same time. He prefers writing right-handed and still has that glove of love.